Thanks for logging on to House of Chapple TV. I am Rico Chapple, CEO of the legendary House of Chapple. In the past 20 years, I've been traveling all over the world with my clients such as Tony Braxton, Candy Bird, Kelly Rowland, and a list of celebrities that I can't even count. And now I'm about to share the secret with you on a web series I call So Like a Pro. Each week I'll teach you a tutorial on a step-by-step rule of how I make anything from a fabulous evening gown to home decor and furnishings, all on a dime. This is So Like a Pro. Welcome to House of Chapple TV. I'm Rico Chapple, and you just tuned into another episode of So Like a Pro with, of course, me, Rico, and I'm with Octavius Cherry, designer to the stars. Designer to the stars, menswear designer. Yes. So tell the world a little bit about yourself, because I've been knowing you for the past almost 15 years.
Yeah,
so.
probably even farther than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I am Octavius Cherry. I'm the co-founder of a men's apparel company called Groom. So I'm actually born and raised in Atlanta and spent 11 years in Los Angeles. Where I just came back to be the new fashion director at the Art Institute of Atlanta. And I still run my business bi-coastal. Just recently, we were probably most known just recently for making the tuxedo that Terrell McCraney wore when he won the Oscars about 2 years ago.
Okay, cute,
and so with all that fiasco that happened, it actually put our tuxedo in every magazine, including Vogue. And
everything. Dope, dope.
So that's a little bit about me.
All right. So today it's all about men. Two things. We're going to make a bow tie because we have to teach you guys how to sew like a pro. And we're going to show you guys and give you some tips about men and hemming pants, because I hate when I see my brothers with baggy pants and the pants are draped to the ground, not a good hem. We owe you guys to teach you how to do your own hem. So what do you suggest when, like a quick fix in hemming?
Well, there are a couple of things, guys. Some things called, what, stitch witchery?
My favorite. I love it.
That's the quickest fix. And the only thing you need is an iron and an eye to actually line the stuff in there. But another thing that guys don't even know, like, sometimes you may have gotten your pants hemmed and you're out and about, and before you go out and about, you actually accidentally, because some of the pants are like what's called stovepipes, they're really tight. Mm-hmm. So sometimes guys have a tendency to use the heel will actually break it out.
Or that big toenail that they didn't go get cut off, or that pinky toe that's growing out. I will tell you, hems in pants are like the most, when you ain't had your toes done and you got that big toenail and you stick your foot in that pants and that hem come loose, you either got to stitch it up real quick. If you don't have needle and thread, you got to have some Wonder Under. You never catch it until you're getting ready to walk out that door and put on them pants. That big toenail get caught in that hemline all the time.
All the time, all the time. So the quickest fix, believe it or not, is to actually get a staple machine. You can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
You probably have one in the house, and you just staple it on the inside and the outside, but not on the front because it's silver.
Okay.
On the inside and the outside, until you can actually come back and use, you know, the.
That is a really, really good idea. Right. So I have a pair of pants.
Okay.
I have some pins, just in case we need some pins. I have this little, what is this called?
It's a hem guide.
Yeah, yeah, there you go, a hem guide. And I was just testing him out. I really knew what it was, but I was just testing his skills, okay? And a hem guide, and we got some needles and thread, and of course, some scissors. Okay?
Okay.
So how you want to do this? Well, we already have the line here.
Yeah, already the line is there.
Yeah, the line is already there. Because this is one of the pair of pants that I had that big toe got caught on the hem line.
Yeah.
And so I just took the whole hem out just for today.
Okay. So what we can do is the exact stitch. That'll be pretty easy for guys.
So are you going to do it on the machine or on?
I'll do it by hand.
Okay, by hand.
Do it by hand.
Okay, cool. So,
all right.
How do you normally thread your thread? Do you do it a single or quadruple situation?
I think so. Oh, it's a single. I just use a single. Cool. I use double for buttons. The reason why I do a single thread in the hem is because you're less likely to see it on the outside.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
All right. So and then it's easier because you don't have to tie it or anything like that. I know, right? So let's do this. Now, I'm really old, but let's see if I can thread this pretty quickly.
Oh, baby, Lisa Wu just wore me out about trying to thread, and I'm, you know, She old as hell. I'm old as hell, and we're trying to thread this thread right.
Yeah. But I will say what helps that is if and I'll do a little demonstration on it a little bit as long as I can get it through. Let's see.
Oh.
Did I do it?
Oh,
I didn't do it.
Oh, damn.
So I'm old. Let me try it again. Another way to do it is, guys, don't cut it straight, but the way to do it is cut it at an angle.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
So if you cut it at an angle, then it's more likely to just go through there. And I'm gonna see if
my grandmama just taught me to cut it and lick the thread.
There it is. See?
Oh.
That's it.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Yeah.
Instead of my hood way. So, Grandma, I rest in peace. But you didn't have to show me how to just lick the thread and just put it through the needle.
I'll tell you like a success story when that happens. I was also the person that was behind Ray J's wedding on Love and Hip Hop. So I did the Coming to America theme wedding. But it was an emergency that happened because I also had to fit the game in his tuxedo. But he had it so tailored, and he's like 6'5", that right before they were getting ready to walk out, all his buttons started to pop out.
Wow.
So I'm literally standing there with 5 minutes, and I had to like quickly thread. So that it does work if you do it really fast. All right.
He was really happy about that tuxedo too, all over Instagram.
Yeah. All right. So I was teaching how to close it on the end, and this is where I lick it. So what I do is I lick my fingers, and what I do is
You so classy. You so classy. I just be like.
No, yeah. So this is a men's tailoring technique. So I wrap it around my finger there, and then at the same time I roll it down.
Okay.
And then it closes into a knot, and now it's closed. So that's on the inside.
Now you are really teaching me.
Well,
something.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is an even exchange. No,
I retire. I'm just letting you take over the whole show. Okay.
So I'll do this really quick.
Okay, I do that.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so let's see that. So what I like to do is go ahead and just turn it out. And the fortunate part is that we already have a line. And normally what we do is actually use this hem guide. And guys, normally 2 inches is kind of customary for pants. So what I see in here is a 2-inch, and so see that? So it's 2 inches. So that's already perfectly ironed. So what I do is go ahead, and I will usually use the iron to make a crease, but then you hold it like this. So what we're going to do is kind of a semi-blind stitch, but it's going to be a zigzag stitch, which is much quicker and nobody really sees it. But what you do is, I always start at the side hem where it hasn't seen, so you can at least start the knot, so it's here. Right? I do it twice. So now, this is the zigzag part.
Okay.
And you kind of have to eye it. So I'm going to do like a 1-inch zigzag, so it's pretty quick. But what you do is you go about 1 inch and take a little bitty tiny bite. I always call it a bite. Tiny bite like that, and pull it through. And what you're doing is making a Z. So you do the outside, come back in.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing an inch, so you can do it a little bit faster. But you'll see is what I mean. You only want to use a single thread, because I am actually going through the pant on the front side. So it's like a semi. So I'm almost, sometimes that bite is, I'm able to capture like 1 thread actually. But this will hold itself. And it'll be so fast with a 1 inch. And this is just like if you're trying to do it quick. And it does take a little practice. See, I'm already halfway done.
And it's really quick too. It's really quick.
Really quick. This sometimes is quicker than, believe it or not, than using the iron and stitch witchery.
Oh Lord, don't tell me that. Oh Lord, I love my stitch witchery.
The stitch witchery is good, but it's just so funny that you have to really place it in the right place.
And you have to move really fast.
You have to move really fast. And sometimes if you don't do it right, then on the inside your pants are stuck together because it slipped out of the hem. Right. And believe it or not, that took about, what did that take about? Like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm already done. And to lock this off, I'll show you guys. You go back in once, right? And now this is the trick part. You go back in one more time, and then you take that needle, spin it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Pull it back through, and it's locked. Woo. So you just did a custom tailor hem.
Oh yeah.
So let's just look at it on the front, and I just want to show you guys how, even though we took those tiny little bites on the inside, you don't see them on the outside. Look at that.
Yes,
so
amazing.
So
all of these are a little steam, and we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I need to wear these pants tonight. You're gonna do the other leg, no? I'm just joking. That is absolutely Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice. I learned something. So hey, cheers. Cheers. Yes. So how you liking being back in Atlanta?
You know, I love it. I've been away for 11 years in California, and I think my parents love it more than anything. But Atlanta's changed so much, and one of the reasons why I came back is because Atlanta is growing as a city that is kind of internationally known. They're doing a lot of filming here, and I wanted to be a part of that. And the other thing was that I wanted to be back at a university where I could really show that you know, anything is tangible. You just gotta kind of work hard. Cause I'm a Grady baby. I was born in Grady.
Oh wow! And you guys are like unicorns in Atlanta. You rarely meet people from Atlanta that still live in Atlanta.
That's the real deal.
Right, yeah, that's the real deal.
So I was born
now, I've been to Grady Hospital for a checkup for a rash every now and then, but I'm not a Grady baby.
Exactly. I'm proud to say I'm a Grady baby. You know, I was raised in the projects of Carver Home. So I'm a great success story. I was the first person to graduate from college. I went to Georgia Tech here.
Okay.
I ran away so I could discover my fashion passion, and now I'm back.
Because it was amazing to me when you left Atlanta, and I said, what? You're doing what? Because I had no clue. I've been doing
a different person.
Yeah, he was like a rock star.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've been knowing Octavius about 15 years, honey. Well, I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. Back in the day, I slipped Octavius my number. And we just became friends. And and I was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, and I was like, do you actually sew? And so when I moved to LA, he showed me his showroom, and he took me to all these manufacturers and distributors and people to meet in the fashion industry. And I was literally blown away.
Yeah, and I think that that's important. I think that we all should stick together. It's only a few of us. You know, I think that there's enough work for everybody, but together, I think you can do more with numbers.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Really, like, it's just networking. You network across the board with different colleagues, and because a lot of people in our industry, I would say in the black fashion industry, they're very catty amongst each other, and I wouldn't have gotten where I am today if it wasn't for people like Octavius or like a Kato Mamalu. Just that networking and people are so busy being catty and shady, it's just really no need for that because we're all trying to go somewhere great. I always tell people you don't want to be shady all the time because that person that you're throwing that shade to may have the important ingredient to make your potion amazing. I want to go to this gala. I need a quick bow tie.
Okay.
I'm not a bow tie tyer.
Okay.
So I need to make a bow tie.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you want to do the bow and I do the
strap around?
The strap around?
Yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah. So we're going to tag team this one?
Yes.
And this is a silk satin. You don't need a full yard, but they only sell you a full yard. But you can really use a quarter of a yard to making a bow tie. Okay. And a lot of bow ties sell from like a silk bow tie at least.
Oh, I mean, we're talking anywhere from like the minimum, like $35 to $40 up to like $200.
Exactly. So literally, I purchased this for $9 for a whole yard, and getting ready to make a bow tie in less than nothing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think Octavius I want to be like him when I grow up. His personal style is absolutely amazing. I love looking at his Instagram pictures. His style is amazing, from his hair to his tattoos. He gives me that whole little thing as far as you getting older. I think as he gets older, he gets sexier. So it's just like getting older is not such a like crazy thing. He wears it extremely well.
So I think what we'll do is to kind of even make it look a little bit more expensive too. We're gonna do let's do a Tom Ford like teardrop. Like it doesn't look fake or anything. And we're gonna do it really quick.
I love some expensive fabric because it just cuts like butter.
Okay. Yeah, are we gonna freehand all of this?
Do you want pattern paper? Do you want chalk?
No, just do you have a ruler? All right, so what we're gonna do is I just kind of eyeball this to make it really, really easy. We're gonna do like a vintage.
So hold on, you said eyeball. Because, you know, I know y'all be laughing at me when I just be like, well, I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm just freehanding. Right, and that's what we do.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a pretty decent sized vintage bow tie, almost like a Tom Ford. So I just kind of eyeballed it, meaning that I just kind of took a reference from what I think is big enough or long enough, and then we'll see what happens after that. But we're going to do 3 and 6, that's what we're going to call it. It's going to be 6 inches wide, and it's going to be 3 inches tall. And then when we collapse it around the center with a little piece of fabric, then you'll see that we'll create this kind of tie. You've probably seen this on, like, Jay-Z wears it a lot. There's some other people, like Kanye used to wear it.
Used to wear it before he went crazy.
And what we're doing is we're taking 2 pieces of fabric, and we're calling it, we're putting the, because we're going to sew it the same way we're going to cut it. So this is always called the face of the fabric, the more prettier side, and then this is the back. So we're going to keep it face to face when we do this. And remember, face to face and 3x6 is the idea. Let me eyeball this.
You know, Octavius, this is the most like I've ever heard you talk ever in your life.
Really?
Yes, you are so quiet. Like,
don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Ooh. So you guys, we met through Jarris Madison, the photographer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When the last time you talked to him?
You know, it's I've seen him. I think we would correspond through social media a lot because we're both just kind of really busy. But I'm sure that time is coming again very, very soon.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Okay, guys. So I took about 2 inches of fabric and I folded it in half and I eyeballed it. And so I'm going to make the pretty much measurement of my neck, which is about 15 and a half.
Okay. Gorgeous. So this is kind of what we're looking at, this little teardrop. Is what we're going to end up being.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to grab the machine.
Cool. So the other thing I'm doing right now is the centerpiece of it. I'm actually just doing the same thing he did with a little middle portion of that will go around the inside to make it a bow tie. So let's try that.
You want to do this?
Yeah, whatever I have extra, that works for me. That works too. Yeah, there we go.
Here.
I'm just testing this to see. So I eyeballed it, so we'll see if it's big enough. And then, like I said, but I'm really trying to go for that teardrop.
So a couple years ago, right, I was watching the Grammys.
Yes.
And Queen Latifah was talking about marrying people and this, that, and the third. And I was like, I know them. And your now husband, he used to be the choreographer for Tony Braxton.
I officially got married to my husband, Jamal Sims, who is a choreographer director. He choreographed all the Step Up movies. He used to be a choreographer for Tony Braxton. But recently, right now, he's in London with Will Smith, and they're actually finishing Aladdin, the Disney live action.
Oh, wow.
And then he also did Girls Trip. He choreographed Girls Trip and The Best Man Holiday when they did the Can You Stand the Rain. If you remember when Usher was doing You Make Me Wanna, when he was pulling off his shoes, he created that whole thing.
Oh, dope. Oh, legendary then.
His first job actually was at 18. He was in Remember the Times with Michael Jackson, so he's the one in the back doing that.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go YouTube that video because I was in the 8th grade and I remember.
Yeah. So yeah, we got married on the Grammys in 2014, and that's kind of what started our company because I actually designed our motorcycle tailcoats.
Yes, I love him. So when did you know that you wanted to be a fashion designer? Because like I had no clue.
I think it was always in me, but when you are the first person to graduate from college and you have a father who's a truck driver and a mom who was a nurse's assistant, when they see you drawing, they just automatically say, you're going to be a doctor or an attorney or something like that. And I didn't want to be either one, you know? And so I think it was always in me, but it took me to go out to LA to kind of really be my authentic self. I think I stepped away from what I knew.
So it's funny because like my mom is an artist.
Right.
So I learned to draw like at the age of 5.
Okay.
And so I went to college as an architecture engineering major.
Okay.
And so when I changed my major, it was like, okay, well, we get it. You know, so it was very easy to transition into fashion design because I'm actually 4th generation.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm 4th generation. And so what I'm doing now, I'm just literally the neck of the tuxedo. What do you call it?
Which one? The neckband?
The neckband.
Yeah.
On the neckband. See, I rarely do men clothes, so I don't know what the hell it's called.
Yeah. So I should describe what I'm doing here. So remember we cut out that 3x6, and so this is the square. And what we did was we did a little 1/4 inch sewing all around the edge, but we didn't close it up. We started here so we could get a corner, and we came back around here, right? It's almost like a pillowcase. That's what I call it. It's a bow tie pillowcase.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, look what I just did. So what you want to do is you're going to cut just where you sewed at. You're going to cut up to that corner, because what's going to happen is you don't want a lot of fabric to get in that corner, because what's important about a bow tie is actually how sharp the corners are. But then after that, then you're going to turn it inside out, just like this. All right, and then you're going to flip it so we can get to the good side. So it's just using your fingers, and then the last thing to push it all the way through, we're going to use scissors to, believe it or not, the corner of scissors are not as sharp, so they can actually push this all the way through. Like you said, like, have you been sewing all your life? Because I was one of those people that sewed late in life. Like, what was how did you know?
It is a great story because I didn't identify as being gay until like I was about 22 or 23. Okay. And I met this guy when I was at Tennessee State. He was older. He was like 10 years older. And he was a designer. He was my first boyfriend. My first boyfriend was a fashion designer. One thing that I do appreciate about him to this day, he does not want to be public. He's kind of weird like that. But he gave me a sewing machine that his original sewing machine broke. He put it in the shop, and then so when it came out the shop, he gave it to me. I was running for Mr. TSU, and I was looking for these metallic blue beach pants, and I was like, I'm just gonna make them myself. And they was like, I was like, no, I'm gonna make it myself. Like, I seen my mom sew. I made a teddy bear in home economics, so I think I can do it. So I did it, and the crowd went crazy. And at that time, that was, yeah, I was in college. And at that time, that's when the J-Lo dress came out with the green Versace J-Lo. Like, I was making gowns for like $35, didn't know what I was doing. I was just reading patterns and just kind of freehanding everything. I believe in taking your hobbies and your hustles and making them into a business. Once I started making money, I was hooked. I learned, I found out I can sew. I found out I can make some money. My first paid gig, one of my first paid gigs was with one of my best friends, Asia. She bought a outfit for the Q boat ride. And baby, once I made that first cash and I was like, I can make this in one day, it was a wrap for me. And I turned in my 2 weeks notice at Express and Ruby Tuesdays, and I was on my own. And that was 19 years ago. I was like, oh my God. And you know, the girls going to school, dancing at the clubs. I was like, oh, I can make $75 in one day. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at Express and Ruby Tuesdays. And yeah, and sewing. And once I was able to make more money from more than the 2 jobs combined, I quit and it was a wrap.
Okay. I started sewing at the tender age of 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's never too late. Never too late.
We did a panel. Octavius invited me, which I was pleasantly surprised. It was me, Anthony from Project Runway, which is a former intern of mine. Ken Lawrence is like one of my little babies in the industry. Some shade was thrown, but it was an amazing discussion where we just told our story about being designers in the industry, and most importantly, being Black designers in the industry.
You know, thank you for being a part of it. But one of the main things that I wanted to do, one of my first missions in coming to Atlanta, was to kind of put a spotlight on like Atlanta designers, especially African American men designers. We're such unicorns, and we have so many in Atlanta that are really extremely successful, from you to others that have actually won Project Runway and made history with that. And one of the delights that I had of being a program director at the Art Institute was to create what I call, you know, you guys are celebrities not only to me, but to all the kids that kind of look up to you guys, and you guys don't know how many students and parents are excited that they get an opportunity to be in front of you guys, just to see you in the flesh, as opposed to be on television.
Absolutely amazing. I just put the both Hook and I on the neckband, and we're actually done on this.
Yeah, and so I just need a little strip of material to wrap around this bow tie. And we're gonna just put a little piece of fabric around here.
Okay, here, yeah.
So then,
oh, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll kind of eyeball it, and then I'll use your
the magic word of the day, eyeball.
Especially in men's wear, because men we don't like to take a lot of time doing anything. So we rather have an eyeball because we know everything.
Right.
We're gonna just do a quick fix on this. The same thing. Rico's band will still be able to go through the back portion of this through this little piece, and we'll have like a quick bow tie. All right, so we're gonna close it off again, like we did before. Woo. All right. So now,
did you make the leather?
I did.
I love that.
It's a leather vintage ruffle that I made. That'll be on the next tutorial.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna order one.
All right. But that's the bow tie itself. So we just kind of piece this through here. And we'll slide it through that tunnel that we created with it.
Sometimes women are in, sometimes men are in, sometimes glitz and glamour are in, sometimes stretch pieces are in, sometimes things just go in and out of style when it comes to fashion. Like right now, men are shopping more. And a lot of people ask me like, do you just cater to gay men? Oh, dope.
There you go.
Dope.
So what I'll do is I'll iron the corners out so it'll stand up a little more.
Gay men have a lot of disposable income. It's just, this is no shade. You know, they don't have 50 kids by 10 different baby mamas and all that good stuff.
All right. So look how beautiful that's happening. We'll spread it. And I'll let you close it up. Look at that. So that's that.
Gorgeous. Let's cut all these little
hairs. Maybe I can...
Sew for the people that's around you. And I sew for a lot of, you know, gay men. They love my suits. And so I'm going to give them what they want if they got that right coin. You can get it straight off the runway. Check the tag.
Yeah, really cut it off and tuck it just for the sake of the demonstration.
Gorgeous. So this is called a teardrop situation.
A little teardrop.
Okay.
And we'll iron it out a little bit more.
Okay, cool. All righty then. We have our bow tie and we have our pants, and I can wear this to the next function. Thank you guys for logging on to House of Chapple TV.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you just witnessed another episode of Sew Like a Pro with Rico and my special guest, Mr. Octavius Terry. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share this YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm Rico Chapple. Bye. Pressing the hemline to have a crisp edge.
So what type of event would you wear this?
Oh, you know, I would wear this to Walmart. I would wear this to Benihana's. No, a nice little, this is not formal. It's not even after 5. This is one of them statement pieces, the premiere. And like I said, you're giving me like very 16-year-old slut. Like I want you to give very like, you know, I want you to give very 16-year-old classy woman. Come on over here. Go ahead and step in. Yes, pull your hair. You've done this before. Yes, amazing. Boom. You like?
A little bit.
Okay, so maybe, girl, don't turn around because we ain't do all the him. We ain't do all the him yet. So, you know, we good though. We good. We need about 10